Good morning, Jade here, and welcome to another video. My goodness. This is what 2 pounds of bananas looks like. Can you believe it? And there's 4 ounces of celery there. I will put the metric amounts up on the screen. I just changed my scales over to the imperial because I got sick of Googling, how much have I got to have? How much have I got to have? So here we go. Day 3, following completely an 80-10-10 plan. Now, when I say plan, I've just seen some confusion on my Facebook page. People are like, I've been following 80-10-10, blah, blah, blah. It's not working for me. Yeah, I get it. We all think we're following 80-10-10. And we're not always following 80-10-10 because we leave it to our own devices. We don't measure. And that's the one thing I'm going to say, don't measure, because I just get my tablespoon usually with the fat and go boom, boom. And I worked out I'm probably having double the amount of fat I'm supposed to be having because I'm just like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. You know, and we become complacent. And first of all, let me tell you, 5 years ago when I first started this plan, I never ever would have put this online that I've lost the plot. But in 5 years, my ego has gone, whoop. And it's not that I don't have self-confidence or anything like that. I do. But I can put my ego aside these days and say, hey, you know what? This is what I'm doing wrong and this is what I'm doing to adjust it. And the reason I want to share is for other women, predominantly women, my main following is women and men, if you're watching. If you're struggling and you're saying, hey, nothing's working at the moment, don't be embarrassed to say, hey, what am I doing wrong? And that's what I needed to do because I have just gone months and months, and I'm talking maybe the last 5 months, I've just been like, whoa. And that is because I've been working my butt off and I'm just like, yeah, I'll eat this, quick, I'll make this. I've still been raw, and you can still be raw. But it doesn't always work for you, especially when you're eating excess fat. And I'm not talking a little bit of excess fat. I got to the point where I'm having chia seeds for breakfast, avocados with my lunch, and then dinner, just as I said, just winging it. I know what I'm doing. You don't always know what you're doing. There's a time where you've got to say, hey, I've got to take charge and get back into control. Now, I'm day 3, starting into day 3, following 80-10-10 plans from his book, not winging it. And that's what I just explaining to a lady on Facebook. She said, oh, I've been eating up to 3,500 calories and I'm not losing weight, I'm actually gaining weight. And I said, yeah, well, all his plans are 2,000 calories. So unless you're like running marathons or like riding like astronomical amounts, which I'm not. So I don't require that level of food before the high carb bike riders get in and say, I eat this much, I smash it in. Yeah, but I'm a mature age woman who's not doing that extent of exercise. So I'm following his plan, which is 2,000 calories, and I've always advocated 2,000 calories, and the vast majority of them are from fruit. And of course there is the inclusion of greens, and I'm adding in every single day my green juice. Now my green juice is hardcore. It's always 1.1 pounds, 500 grams of greens. I rotate between bok choy, spinach and celery. I just rotate my greens. I've got no preference. I don't think celery is any better than spinach, and I don't think spinach is any better than bok choy. And you're probably thinking, bok choy, how weird. I cannot access many greens in Vietnam. It's what I can get. When I was back in Australia, I used to use a range of different chards as well. But I rotate my greens. I have 1 lemon or lime. I have lime. I cannot access lemons in Vietnam. I have 6 cucumbers, always 6 cucumbers, and 1 to 2 thumbs of ginger. I don't add anything else to it. As I said, it's pretty hardcore, and it usually comes to about 900 mils, which is 32 ounces. And if you're new to juicing, that's going to blow your mind. You are going to either A, If you're really new and you're new to plants full stop, probably blend in a banana. 2, if you're just relatively new but you're not at, blending in a banana stage, add in some orange juice or some apple juice for sweetness. It is hardcore. It's a hardcore juice, but I like it. I get a huge rush of greens into my body, which is essential minerals and nutrients that my body requires to sustain this lifestyle. So I add that. That isn't on the plan, but that is just something that is life. That is a no-brainer. That's in my plan. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the fact that I feel like I'm not having any cravings at all. Now, Dr. Graham writes in his book about spices, and they are not part of the 80-10-10 program. Now, I'm not a militant raw vegan. I have had spices and coconut aminos and all sorts into my dishes over the years. I don't get into this hardcore stuff, and I don't judge people for putting that stuff into their diet, because we all start somewhere, and we have to just do the best at where we're at, okay? But it's been really good for me because I do like my spices. I like to get those flavorings and stuff, and it's been really good for me to just get them out of my diet, which trigger cravings. Dr. Graham writes about that in his book, how spices can trigger cravings, and they can, because you know what, sometimes I'll have like some smoked paprika and a bit of oregano or something like that, and it starts me thinking about pizza or pastas and things like that. So anything that can get your brain thinking about memories. Food cravings are predominantly caused once we've had the actual detoxification and our body doesn't recognize them anymore, so to speak. It's all our mind cravings, and generally it takes us into a good place, and that's why we crave that. So, when you're feeling emotional or something like that, all of a sudden your brain will take you into a place. I have masked my emotions with food for many, many years, so it's nothing abnormal for me to be going into a food place in order to comfort my emotions. And when you're eating raw, you feel everything. So for me, getting those spices out is a huge thing, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really getting down to complete basics, and I want to keep doing this as long as possible. I'm going to eventually have to use my own fruit, because when I say own fruit, the seasonal fruit, because he has different fruits in there that I cannot access. Like there's a whole strawberry page pretty much in there, and I'm like, man, like strawberries are astronomical here. I could not eat 4 kilos or 3 kilos of strawberries in a day in Vietnam, because that would be my whole food budget for the week. So I'm going to have to start looking at alternatives and what I can use in this country. But look, bananas, they're the world over, and he has a lot of days with the bananas. And it's not bananas all day. Don't think, oh my God, I'm going to eat bananas all day. No. For lunch, I'm having a citrus platter, which I'm excited for, which I'll show you. So it's just really, for me, building that base foundations, getting back to those base foundations where I started, and really, really getting into this lifestyle. Now, the thing I've noticed, and I woke up this morning and I'm like, man, I'm feeling alive again. I have been feeling dead for months, like a walking zombie, and I'm like, man, I'm dying. And my partner's like to me, it's the food. It must be the food. I'm like, I've been eating like this for how many years? Like, I've never felt like this. What's the matter with me? I know. I was eating too much fat, and it was just putting so much pressure on my digestive system, which my body isn't used to anymore. My body knows how great it can feel. So when it doesn't take much for my body to say, I'm not happy with the way you're making me feel. I don't want to feel like that. I want the highs. I want the great feeling. Take me back to the Garden of Eden. So that's where I am now. I'm back in the Garden of Eden, so to speak, and I'm feeling great. So I'm going to check back in with you at lunchtime and show you my citrus platter, and discuss how I'm feeling further. See you soon. Hi, back for lunchtime. Okay, so for lunch you can see I've got this big wonderful bowl. I've got 1 pound 12 ounces of mango. I was aiming for 2 pounds, but I didn't buy enough mangoes. Like, you can see how many are here. So I didn't have enough mangoes, so I just added 4 ounces of dates. Now these are the neglect, I hope I said it right, noir dates. So they're like 20 calories each, whereas a medjool date is 67 calories. So just take note of that, because there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 of them. So that's about 180 calories. But if you had 9 medjool dates, that's 9 times 67, 670, 603. So bit of a difference. So just letting you know the differences in that. So that's my lunch. Now, today is the first day I have had so much energy. Yesterday still I was coming home and I was exhausted in between classes, and I've come home today and I'm like, man, I've got so much energy. I was dancing around with the kids and I was just like, man, I've got energy. So it is making a difference having the higher amount of calories. So huge difference. I'll see how the afternoon goes. I've got another couple of classes this afternoon, and then I'm going to come back and have dinner. More citrus again. I'm pretty hooked on the citrus at the moment, so I'll be having more citrus again for my dinner meals, but loving having this for lunch. And just feeling so happy and really excited by the feedback that I've been getting on Facebook, and it's been sparking other women who've been saying, you know what, maybe that's my problem. Maybe I've been under eating. So it's been sparking a lot of other people questioning themselves and their own eating program. So I think for anybody, and it doesn't matter how long you've been on this lifestyle, you don't have to think you know everything. And if you're just winging it, you know, flying by the day, yes, of course you've got that knowledge behind you and you know a lot more, but you know what, when you're not counting and you're not being accountable, you really truly don't always know. So that's why I'm getting myself back on track. All right, I'll see you at the next meal. Okay, another complete dinner. So here we have Monsters goulash. No, seriously. We have 16 ounces of romaine lettuce blended with 8 ounces of orange juice and 8 ounces of papaya. Then I added half an avocado and 8 ounces of tomatoes on top. Here I have 1 pound of oranges. I've got Cara oranges and Valencia. And here I've got a 16-ounce glass of freshly squeezed orange juice. So this is my 3-course meal. It's not exactly what was in the book, and that is simply because the soup required blending with cabbage. I'm not having a heap of blended cabbage. It just doesn't work well on my digestive system. I have the odd bit when I have a coleslaw, but it never works that well with me. So I started doing some chopping and changing. I added in some papaya. So that's actually completely my own soup. Orange juice, well, there's no copyright on that, and I'm pretty sure the oranges are okay. So pretty much my own plan, but I've completely stuck to 80-10-10 yet again today, day 3, feeling fabulous. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below. And most importantly, love life and live free. Thanks for watching.